IVM.
Hello and welcome to Smile India with me, Shifa Maitra. I get positive, interesting news for you each week from across the nation. News that talks about the good and gets you smiling. First up is news from Kerala. Unni Kurup, an engineer from God's own country, moved to Finland for work over 10 years ago. He set up his own business and loved the country he'd moved to. He observed the things going right there, especially as his children began to study, and decided to replicate some of the best practices in his home state. He began Venture Village, and today he helps thousands of students across 25 schools in Kerala. Finland is the world's happiest country, and using some practices from there is hugely beneficial for the students in Kerala. In Venture Village, children learn sustainability, environment studies, entrepreneurship, work-life balance, social media responsibilities, and other life skills from class 4. Pulling into his savings, Unni created this company with a co-founder, Dr. Arup. Before launching, they both studied educational entrepreneurship in Finland. Today, close to 4,000 students benefit from this innovative way of learning, which is affordable. The best thing about these schools is that children are not divided into classes on the basis of their age. They study according to their learning ability. Here's hoping we finally get more such relevant subjects pan-India. And now let's talk about a railway station. Not just any odd station, but one that is 124 years old. Bikram Chowk railway station in Jammu is one of the oldest in India and has been in a state of neglect ever since the nation got partitioned. The station was the last on the route from Punjab to Sialkot when the first train line was built in Jammu and Kashmir. The good news is that the Indian government is now restoring the station to its earlier glory. Work has already begun and historians are looking at relics from the time. Old landmarks of the station have been identified, and once completed, the station will look like it did 124 years ago. Of course, no trains will ply on the route, but it will be open to tourists. People can experience the history and heritage of an era that was splendid. I'm looking forward to visiting this place, and not just for yummy Instagram pictures. Next up, I have news from Bangalore, which is where 28-year-old Alina Alam runs a cafe called Mitti. What makes this place unique is that its day-to-day operations are run by young people with disabilities. There are people with Down syndrome, hearing disabilities, and more. The idea behind the cafe is destigmatizing disabilities. While interning at the Samarthanam Trust for the Disabled, this young lady from Kolkata decided to create something that empowered these capable young people. She realized that sympathy is not what they're looking for, and unfortunately, that's what they get. So she spent time with them, understood their needs and potential. That's when the cafe was built after much thought. Here, the menu is in Braille as well. Flicker lights that blink when a customer is calling the staff. Self-explanatory placards and more unique innovations. Each person working here feels respected and feel like they're fulfilling a purpose, besides, of course, earning a salary. The cafe is popular, and what's lovely is that people who are differently abled also like coming here to eat. Regular folk can see how employable people with disabilities are, and that's what Alina wants. She plans on opening another similar cafe in the city soon. Her role in helping getting rid of the stigma is commendable. I think it would be great if others train with her and can set up similar inclusive cafes across the country. Listeners in Bangalore, do check out Mitti. Before signing off, I have to tell you about Pagalor Pathshala. This is a group of cinema enthusiasts in Kolkata, and they've taken up a much-needed mission. They are trying to save single-screen cinema halls in their city, which are bleeding due to the pandemic. Now that we can go out and watch movies on the big screen, most people throng to multiplexes. That's where this group comes in. Ensuring all COVID protocols are in place, they go and watch a film each week at a single screen and try and catch a play at an auditorium that needs help. Saptarishi Ray, an actor who formed the organization, says this is the way they, as cinema lovers, are giving back to the places that helped them become what they became. That's so true because most of us have wonderful memories of watching movies at single screens while growing up, including the ones who made it big. So hey, think vocal for local and do check out an old haunt. That's it for today, and I'll be back next week with more delightful news from India. Till then, stay home, stay safe, and get vaccinated. For more interesting information on our country, please like and follow Good News Indians on Facebook. To hear more engaging podcasts, download the IVM app go to the IVM website or look for us wherever you get podcasts from. To stay in touch with me, you could look up Shifa Maitra on Twitter and Instagram. Since you heard and liked Smile India in English, you could check out our Hindi version too and recommend it to people who prefer podcasts in Hindi.
Hello, everybody. It's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. An app for extramarital relationships sounds interesting? Well, it exists, and it's booming. On GBCD, Farad and Sunetru talked to Sybil Shadel from Gleeden, a dating service primarily marketed to women. On Simplified, the gang discussed the phenomena of sports washing illustrated by the recent Saudi takeover of the Newcastle United Football Club. On the Life Manifesto, Serena explains various lessons from Charlie Plum's life and how we can apply them to our own lives. On Say No to Drama, Chetna is here to slice the drama around workaholics and help understand the consequences of our choices. And learn how to simplify your personal finances on Paisa Vaisa as Anupam speaks to co-founders of 5Money, Sujit Narayan and Sumit Golani. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors on the network this week: Cred, Bank of Baroda, Quarter, CoinSwitch, Kuber, Slate Coffee, Intel, Kotak Mahindra Bank, and Oxfam India. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Working Monday to Friday glued to your chair making you feel dull? Worry not. Get your 5-minute weekly dose of travel around the world with Postcards from Nowhere. Join me every Thursday as I explore the strange, obscure, and fascinating parts of the world and bring out facets of travel you may not have thought of before. You can find us on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you get your podcast from.